Good afternoon and welcome to Match of the Day, reflecting a Saturday when the second highest crowds of the season saw an explosion of goals and sendings off too, perhaps indicating that attacking play at last is being rewarded. And there's a chance to assess that in our two matches, Spurs versus Nottingham Forest from the first and Leicester QPR from the second division. We start the action at White Hart Lane, home of Tottenham Hotspur, who despite injuries have started the season steadily, as have their opponents Nottingham Forest with similar problems. But as we all know, when the trophies are finally handed out, no one's interested in hard luck stories. They just count up the points. Your commentator, John Motson.
Spurs are 100 years old this month, and their newest player, Gary Mabbutt, must be one of the most versatile to wear the famous white shirt. He scored 2 goals from left back for England under-21s in Denmark on Tuesday. He's on the left side of midfield today, but he can also play centre-back or in attack. A useful man to have around when you're without Galvin, Hoddle, Roberts, Lacey and Steve Archibald, whose place is taken by Mark Falco, scorer of 2 goals against Forest here a year ago. Forest are also way below strength. They have Colin Todd, John Robertson and Ian Bowyer all suspended. Stuart Gray comes in at number 6 and 2 teenagers keep their places, 18-year-old Chris Fairclough at number 4, 19-year-old Steve Hodge at number 8. Substitute is Peter Ward, back from playing in Seattle, but hard-pressed to win a place because of the return to Forest of Gary Birtles, who scored last week against Watford, and it's 4 years this month since Birtles scored his first senior goal when he beat Ray Clements in a European Cup tie between Forest and Liverpool. And while we're on the subject of anniversaries, Brian Clough's first match in charge of Forest was here at Tottenham, in an FA Cup tie in January 1975 when Forest won 1-0. Forest in red shirts and white shorts on the ground, which has not been very lucky for them in recent seasons. They've lost their last 3 league games here and also a League Cup tie last season. And in those 4 matches, Forest have failed to score. Here's Gray. Ricky Villa had a good match last week at Sunderland for Tottenham and has been shining in training, I'm told. Nick Hazard, wearing number 8. Houghton. And here's Crooks, handling the ball. Garth Crooks made his debut for Spurs against Forest in August 1980 and scored. This afternoon's referee, Tony Glasson. Allison. Mark Proctor on the right-hand side there for Forest. Hazard. Right is Gary Brook, who scored the only goal at Sunderland last week. Nick Hazard and Gary Brook, 2 young players pressing for places in the Tottenham midfield and keen to make an impression while the likes of Hoddle are out injured. The tackle was by Gary Brook. Forest with their first attack. Proctor to Hodge. Proctor. And that came off Houghton for the corner, for which doubtless the former Spurs player Willie Young will go forward, but it's been taken short anyway. Here's Proctor. And the cross is good, and Young came in behind Gray. And the referee decided a Tottenham head touched that last. Again, it's played short, this time to Bryn Gunn. Oh, and it came to Wallace. Shot was blocked by Paul Miller, back in by Gray and out by Perryman. From Hodge and Gary Birtles, foiled by Ray Clements. It was on Birtles' better side, the left foot. Good ball through to him by Hodge. and Clement's very quick to shut him down. First clear chance of the match, and it fell to Forest. Hazard taken out by Gray, and now Walsh. Forest playing on the break, but dangerously so. Already we've seen, here's Gray. Perryman to Brook, and Tottenham can break now. He's got Crooks through the inside left position, and on this side he's got Falco. Crooks back again to Falco, and Van Breukelen off his line, and a goal kick. Mark Falco put in space, although it was the kind of angle a goalkeeper often shuts down very successfully, and although Falco beat him, the shot was just wide of the far post. Here's Walsh. Falco to Crooks. And away from Gray. Houghton coming up. And Crooks. They closed him down well. And he found Hazard. And he looked for Falco, whose stretching left leg couldn't quite make contact with the ball. That was a nice piece of play by Mick Hazard. Keith Birkinshaw pleased that he's got such a strong squad nowadays. Wilson making half the length of the pitch there. Ilya. There's Brook. Here comes Hazard, and there's Falco, and Van Breukelen again quickly out. Good ball by Hazard. Second time that he's played an imaginative ball through. The second time Falco has been in against the goalkeeper, but again the big frame of the Dutchman shutting down the space. And Young possibly in each other's way there. Couldn't reach it, and here's Anderson, and now Wallace turned on for Hodge. Walsh. Wallace. Falco with the header on.
Harry, get in the win, boy! Get in!
From Price, not completely cut out by Birtles, allowing Perryman to service the front men, but Falco went down, and here's Willie Young for Forest. Tottenham crowd giving him some good-natured backing there. Here's Walsh. And Birtles, and the block was by Miller. attack initiated by Willie Young, who was a player here for 18 months and who will now stay forward for the corner right on the goal line. Spurs fans knowing all about him. Walsh. Oh, and Young got a header on that, and Clements didn't seem too sure, and Birtles underside of the bar, and Willie Young again, goal kick. Well, initially Young caused the problems, his header, Clements fumbling a bit at the far post under challenge, back to Birtles, the shot crashing against the bar, Young's header went out, and in the end of it all, the referee had a word with Proctor. All very untidy from the Tottenham point of view. Corner given. 7 corners Spurs have forced, but yet to make one count. Price, and Falco's flick on, and Mabbutt! Oh, well taken that was. And Gary Mabbutt, after half an hour, keeps up quite a sequence here at White Hart Lane. This is his 3rd league match for Spurs on his new home ground, and he's scored in every one. Falco with the flick, and Mabbutt seeing the chance and taking it all in one movement. He scored here against Luton and against Manchester City. He missed the game against Southampton, and now he scores against Nottingham Forest. But here's Hodge for Forest. Good run, and Birtles is coming in and goes down under challenge from 2 defenders. Only a goal kick given, although both Birtles and the referee look to the linesman for, in the referee's case, advice, and in Birtles' case, in protest. Well, we talked at the start about the versatility of Gary Mabbutt. Proved his worth here as a goal scorer. Willie Young took a tumble. Very sharp indeed there, Gary Mabbutt, to see the opportunity. There's Falco. Nice turn against Young. And no mean effort either on the turn. This is Falco's first appearance in the Tottenham team since he came on as a sub in the Charity Shield. But he had a good run, you'll recall, at the start of last season when he scored 6 in 9 games before getting injured. There's Villiers. Crosses through against the goalkeeper and makes it count. Beautifully made by Ricky Villiers and perfectly accepted by Garth Crooks. The fans will recall his first goal for Spurs here against Forest when he waltzed round Peter Shilton. Well, there he didn't need to waltz round the goalkeeper, he just slipped the ball past him. To put Spurs 2 up here, 2 in 2 minutes. Oh, and Wallace arriving. Quite a first half this, Spurs riding now on the crest of a 2-goal lead. But I'm sure that Crooks who combined so well there for that goal with Villiers, would acknowledge that at the other end, Forest have had two perfectly acceptable chances themselves. Was off the head of Young. Oh, Fairclough in a beleaguered defence. And bear in mind, Forest have let in 4 goals at Liverpool, 4 at Aston Villa in their last 2 away games, and they're 2 down here. Tottenham providing some choice football now. So again, Brian Clough sees his defence leaking goals away from home. Villiers. Hazard. This Spurs midfield, despite the absence of Glenn Hoddle, is moving sweetly in the first half. Hazard particularly making an impression. Look at that pass from him, out to Perryman. Here's Gary Brooke. Tackle was by Walsh, but it's still Brooke. Perryman. Really young. Only finding Hazard. Here's Houghton. Wallace with Viv Anderson going down the right. Hazard tracking him back. Birtles is on this side of the penalty area. Still Anderson, away by Miller. And Price, in the end, turning very succinctly. If Miller hadn't got a foot to that cross, Birtles would surely have scored. As it is, Viv Anderson was out of position and Spurs attack down his flank. Falco to Brooke. Deflection against the post. Abbott. The shot by Gary Brooke, off the Forest defender, looping past the goalkeeper against the post, and the rebound was a present for Gary Abbott. So for him, 2 in an England shirt in midweek, 2 in a Tottenham shirt today. And with 6 minutes to go to half-time, Spurs lead 3-0. So in 2.5 matches away from home, Forest have now let in 11 goals. The funny thing is, it could have been 2-1 just a matter of seconds earlier. Instead, it's 3-0. Referee is still concerned about the injured Forest player there. Gray, who I think's got a pull at the back of the thigh. So with Gray off the pitch, Forest resume, and here's Willie Young. Wallace on to Birtles. Oh yes, that's well taken. And Forest get a goal back while they only had 10 men on the pitch. Gray was hobbling away behind the goal when Wallace found Gary Birtles, and he scores to make it 3-1. 41 minutes gone, and Forest will presumably want to make their substitution, and it'll be the return to the Football League for Peter Ward. voted the most valuable player in the North American Soccer League this summer. Played last week in the Soccer Bowl final for Seattle against New York Cosmos. And now he's back in league action with Forest for the first time since last March. Houghton. Well, two teams below strength today, and I think the entertaining first half here indicates that Tottenham have possibly got a stronger squad than Forest. Gary Mabbutt scored 2 goals. Garth Crooks scored 1. Forest got 1 back through Gary Birtles, but Tottenham calling the tune in the absence of several established star players. 3-1 at half-time. Well, there have been some high-scoring matches between Spurs and Forest here down the years. 20 years ago it was 9-2 to Tottenham. There was a 6-1 in the early 70s. And it's 3-1 so far today. But Forest certainly had their chances in the first half. Birtles scoring their first goal on this ground in 5 visits. So it's still an open game here. Proctor. And Birtles getting the better of Miller, and the referee has blown. He's stopped the game to give a free kick to Nottingham Forest when Gary Birtles would surely rather have, Brian Clough may agree, would surely rather have gone on with application of the advantage. Proctor takes, header was by Price, then by Anderson, a slice by Houghton, and a corner. Here for Ward, and that's a good ball by Hazard for Ricky Villiers. Oh, he's won it back from Anderson. Oh no, he hasn't, the referee's blown. That save wouldn't have mattered. And the big Argentine gets a generous round of applause. Still a very popular player here. And again. And here's Ward. To his right, Anderson. 4 waiting for Forest in the centre here. Hodge. This is Ward, and this is Proctor with a chance, and he fires wide. And finishing not perhaps Mark Proctor's strongest point since he joined Forest. He's been there just over a season now and has so far scored only 1 goal. Hazard did take a knock earlier in this half, and he's going off to be replaced by Ian Crook. So we now have something of a nightmare for commentators. We have a Crook and a Crooks in the Tottenham team. And the lad who's just come on is essentially a midfield player. So it's a straight swap for Hazard. Ward. Actually, Ian Crook, not a newcomer to Tottenham supporters. He has had 4 league appearances in the past. Comes from Romford in Essex. And he's taken up a left-sided position for the moment. Nice headed back by Steve Perryman to Gary Brooke, who was on his way here. And turned out by Anderson. A fine run and cross by Gary Brooke, all the way down. Not the best of angles to pull it back. Falco just missed it. Corner to Spurs. It's across this time by Crook. And here's Brooke. But he's reason to be pleased with his performance today. Gary Brooke. Perryman. Crooks. Fairclough's tackle. Miller. And now Ian Crook. Coming off Anderson. Oh, and Crooks is in here. What a good finish. To a very satisfying afternoon for Tottenham. A dreadful mistake by Willie Young against his old club. But just the player to take advantage. Garth Crooks just going on to drift wide of Van Breukelen and push the ball into the net, and 30,000 people inside White Hart Lane to see Spurs go 4-1 up with just 2 minutes left. Now Brian Clough's team have conceded in each of their last 3 away matches. No doubt where his problems lie. Oh, and a mistake there by Paul Price, which Ray Clements came to atone for and was angry with the challenge of Peter Ward. And this is Brooke. Good effort. Burned the goalkeeper's fingers. Did Gary Brooke. Really Young being cheered. Looking for Gary Birtles and finding him. Walsh. Good turn by Peter Ward and pull back away by Price. And again. So White Hart Lane, an unlucky ground for Nottingham Forest. Brian Clough's season will not take shape until he gets his suspended and injured players back, that's for sure. But Tottenham have got a big squad. And Gary Mabbott with 2 goals. And Garth Crooks, likewise, bringing their name to the attention again of the England manager, as he looks for young players who could play a part in the future. Good finishing by Spurs. Gary Birtles got the only goal for Nottingham Forest. And a final score here of Tottenham 4, Nottingham Forest 1.
Well, in the end, a resounding victory for Spurs, but there were moments when Forest might well have put themselves back in a game in which they'd fallen behind, largely because of the opportunism of a young man, Gary Mabbott, who's been tagged with an unusual label.
Well, Gary, you've been called the bionic footballer. You're also known to be a diabetic. Can you tell us a little bit about how that's affected you as a person and a player?
Yes, certainly. I mean, I made no secret of the fact that I'm a diabetic, and I have to have 2 injections a day, one in the morning and one at night. But before I play, I have to have a certain amount of glucose. I take it in bulk glucose drink, Lucozade, which is gives me a lot of glucose in my body to get through the game. And also, my diet is all weighed up for me. I have to eat at certain times of the day. But I mean, I've kept myself stabilised, and you generally look after yourself very well, and so there should be no problems at all.
And the bionic footballer?
Well, it's a tag I've been reading in the press they've given me. I don't know where it's come from, but it's some tag.
Well, you've played in so many different positions, you see, and in midfield against Nottingham Forest you scored 2. How pleased were you with your performance there?
Well, I was very pleased, really. It wasn't going too off us at the start. We were playing well, but we weren't getting very far as scoring goals, although we had a lot of the advantage. And I think it wasn't until up the half an hour that I scored the first goal, and say we got another goal, and I got a second goal, and it was tremendously enjoyable.
And where do you prefer to play?
I think I prefer to play in midfield pushing forward, so I can get in goal-scoring positions.
Can't be bad, can it? 2 goals from midfield on a Saturday and 2 goals from left-back for England during the week.
That's right. It's been a tremendous week. Very enjoyable, thanks.
Well, Gary Mabbott, who's obviously a credit to his mother and father, who you may remember was known Ray Mabbott, and he played for Bristol Rovers for 14 years. But Gary's also an inspiration to all youngsters who may be handicapped in some way to overcome those difficulties and still win in the end. Well, now a brief look at a couple of skillful defensive touches for a change arising from Chris Hooton's performance yesterday. Not so much that he eventually got the ball away from the opposition, but he did it with some style and ready to attack immediately afterwards. Steve Hodge goes through with the ball here. He's harried by a couple of chasers, so it wasn't too difficult to get the ball. But look at the style with which he steals it away, a deft little touch there to get himself in a position to use the ball. And that's shown even more from this clearance of Willie Young's there, whacked up in the air, and you'll see Wallace chasing in the end after this ball. Most players would take the safe way out and play it back to the goalkeeper there. You see it so often, but no, why not a little feint, turn round and get yourself in a position to attack the other side. Another interesting point came up from it yesterday, this one to do with refereeing and the advantage rule. You probably spotted it in this game that as the ball was flicked on from Wallace there to Birtles, there was a foul. Tony Glasson, the referee, spotted Paul Miller holding him, blew the foul at that moment, but Chris Birtles is saying now, why didn't you let me go? I might have had a better chance to score, certainly, than from the resultant free kick.
He scored over 1,000 goals. He won 3 World Cups. He earned a reputation for honesty and fair play. Now, Pelé has joined a new team.
Tem muita gente decente trabalhando na indústria do cinema e nós temos que combater a pirataria por causa disso.
Rent, buy or download, but do it legally.
E fazer gol de placa contra a pirataria.
After midnight, out in the moonlight, just like we used to do. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you.
I'm looking for a universal remote control. I'm about to rock your world.
Howdy, partner.
Ooh.
I could rule the world with this thing. Click.
Do you just do it?
No, seduce me.
I didn't want the whole thing to go that fast.
I don't think anybody did.
Apparently this is a self-cleaning car. Well, here goes. Interesting. Is that supposed to be happening? Oh! Oh, look out. Incoming. No, if you're looking for an ingenious idea that really does work, it has to be Pilkington Active, the world's first self-cleaning glass. Pilkington Active. Come on, world. Do keep up.
Ding ding. Focus. Cells cap. Hand special. Whoops. A gentle swoosh. Foreign touch. Fisk paper. Okay. twice, twice, three. Box to box. Integration. Braxton fact. Buzzing. Buzzword. Growing, growing. Rome. Grow it. Planetary.
Email and instant messenger on your mobile.
I used to think it was pretty straightforward. You sorted out a pension and that was that. But now I read stuff and I'm thinking, is a pension enough? Should I be spreading the risk? Do I need to diversify my portfolio? I know one thing for certain. I'm totally confused.
Make sense of investments with Norwich Union. Speak to a financial advisor.
What?
Win a luxury week to enjoy Kronenbourg 1664 with your friends at an exclusive hotel in the French West Indies.
My top tip when it comes to a bargain, buy quality. McDonald's Bacon Cheeseburger, only 99p. The Junior Chicken Mayo, only 99p. And the Double Cheeseburger, only £1.19. McDonald's Pound Saver menu, a real investment in pleasure.
Welcome, Grapple fans!
Welcome indeed to the world of Grapple, with our very own Grapplemeister, Sid Waddell.
Ow, that was a bit below the belt.
Featuring Kendo Nagasaki from Stoke-on-Trent. And arch-enemy Sainton McManus.
Ow, my arm!
And in a world where the bigger the better, the crowd's favourite, Big Daddy! And not forgetting the mountain himself, Giant Haystacks, all 48 stone of him!
Sid Waddell's Wrestling Show!
Tonight at 11:30 on ESPN Classic. It's mental!
Well, our match from Division 2 is between Leicester City and Queen's Park Rangers, teams who would expect to be in the running for promotion come the spring. There's a lot of water to go under the bridge before then, and both managers are still probably trying to feel out the shape of their most competitive side. Your commentator, Alan Parry.
The Goalkeepers Union has always provided football with some of its greatest characters, and these two are no exceptions. On the left, Leicester's Mark Wallington, who was at the centre of a bizarre drama the last time our cameras were here. Wallington's injury in the FA Cup tie against Shrewsbury led to Leicester using 3 different keepers in the same game. And on the right, Rangers' Peter Hucker, who you, the viewers, voted the outstanding player in last season's FA Cup final at Wembley. Queen's Park Rangers were finalists, of course, and Leicester semi-finalists last season, but neither are able to field their strongest teams today. Leicester are without 4 regulars, Eddie Kelly and Steve Lynex, both suspended, and the injured Tommy Williams and Andy Peake. They field a new-look attack with number 9 Alan Smith, signed from non-league Alvechurch, and Tom English, who makes his home debut after moving from Coventry in a swap deal with Jim Melrose. Well, injuries have left FA Cup finalist Queen's Park Rangers with a most unfamiliar look. No Roeder, Wicks, Curry, Flanagan or Allen, none of whom have played in the first team this season. But this young side has now figured in all 6 league games so far. So it's Leicester City who kick off, attacking the goal to our right. Queen's Park Rangers in the strip they used at Wembley, and distinguishable by the black shorts. Let's hope we get as entertaining a game as the last one here at Filbert Street, which provided 6 goals, including 3 penalties. Today's referee is Derek Lloyd from Worcestershire in his final season on the league list. Just kept in by Smith, and a good header too by Lineker. Lineker rising high, but Bobby Smith, then everybody had stopped thinking the ball had gone out, kept going, got the cross in, Lineker's header just over. McDonald's header. Hazel back into the Leicester half. Waddock winning it. Seeley. Waddock again. Wilson's challenge. It's scrappy in midfield. No lack of effort or commitment in the tackle. Here's Alan Smith. Battled away well and finds McDonald in space with 3 on the far post queuing up for him. Not a bad ball really in the circumstances. He can try again and does so, and here's Smith and Huckham. Well, Peter Hucker lucky to get away with that. McDonald persistent, although he made the initial mistake. Alan Smith with the shot, and it almost sneaked. Well, it did get away from Hucker's grasp, but didn't cross the line. And Fennick. Waddock. Wilson intercepts. Ramsey forward, and again offside has been signalled, but the referee has said play on. Wilson is frenetic in the middle. There's very little time to hold on to the ball. Fryer for Leicester City. Lineker. Fryer again, and Wilson in a good space here, but he didn't spot him. Good tackle too by Micklewhite. And Seeley has beaten May. Stainrod forward with him, but he goes all the way. What a splendid effort. Well, Seeley's pace will trouble many defences, and then, although he had Stainrod to his left, he decided to keep going, hit the shot powerfully but wide. English chasing here with Bob Hazel, who won. Micklewhite clears to Stainrod. Seeley again on the right. And he is quick and strong. Stewart in the middle and Micklewhite, and goes it alone, and very nearly an own goal, and still could be a goal for Seeley, but Wilson gets back to clear. What a remarkable incident then. Seeley going alone, tried the shot. Ramsey attempting to clear, nearly scored an own goal, and eventually Leicester came out with the ball. Clear. Stewart. Stainrod. Good ball that was. Stewart. Now he's got some pace as well. Well, it was an intelligent thing to choose the near post, I'm sure, but Wellington had got it covered. The ball pushed through. Stewart taking it on, trying to get in between the goalkeeper and the near post, but Wellington saved. Stewart. Stainrod, Micklewhite to his right, so he gives it straight to Tom English. Lineker. This is McDonald. Trying to find English, but Stewart was always going to win that one. Well, complaining, I'm sure that was a good decision. Rangers managerial duo, Terry Venables furthest away from the camera, and coach Alan Harris shouting the instructions. Neil. Good run here by Gregory. McDonald following him and doing well. With the clearance, which temporarily put Fryer in trouble. McDonald again though, and Fryer. Stays in, it will be a good ball, but he was prepared to chase it. McDonald was always fighting a losing battle. Neil. Stewart took it well. Oh, he's well unlucky that it's actually set up a Leicester attack. And what a fine diving header that was. Lineker quick to spot the opportunity as the ball was played in by fullback Ramsey, trying a header that many players wouldn't have dreamed of from that range, and getting the corner from Hucker's save. And O'Neill both forward again. The Clear away. There's now Neil. Stewart. Still got a long way to go. And Parry with the clearance. And offside against Lineker. Stainrod. Oh, he's a beautifully gifted player, Stainrod. Tends to be a little over-elaborate sometimes, perhaps. Often the price you have to pay for players like him, and he did well there. Here's Stewart. And he had more time than he realised then. And once again, goalkeeper and defender living very dangerously. This time John O'Neill giving Wallington a few headaches. At least he smiles through them. Now then, Lineker. And surely, oh, English was literally a matter of inches away from making contact. And how quickly Hooker came out to provide the final action of the first half. So Hooker denying Tom English what would have been a goal on his home debut at Filbert Street. And there have been precious few real openings in this first half. A bit scrappy, a bit disappointing. And in the sunshine, the crowd will be looking for more action, I'm sure, in the second half. 0-0 at half-time. Well, in these days of dwindling gate, perhaps this is the way that people in future will choose to watch their football. Leicester, one of the first clubs to install private boxes, and certainly they're a lot more full than the ordinary seats in the stand and the terraces. Queen's Park Rangers get the second half underway then. And clearly the absence of so many established players from both teams having its effect, disrupting the pattern of play, and the lack of experience has been clear to see. Stainrod caught in an offside position. Top scorer this season and last season with 24 goals. Bobby Smith winning it. It came off doors, so it's Leicester's throw. In towards Wilson. Gregory missed it. Fenwick didn't. May under pressure here from Seeley. And the bounce was fortunate for Larry May. Now then, Lineker combining with McDonald well. And three in the middle. Possibilities here for Leicester, surely. Oh, he pulled it back the wrong way. Well, as McDonald took that ball down the right, there were 1, 2, 3, 4 Leicester players inside the Queen's Park Rangers penalty area. And what a shame for Kevin McDonald's sake that the cross couldn't have been better.
Don't let it go down the line. Right inside, John.
Hazel. Micklewhite's header. Here's Larry May. Micklewhite again. Stainrod. Seeley inside the box in support. Corner. Stewart and Stainrod combining. Fenwick getting up well, and it came off McDonald for another corner. And before this corner is taken, I think there'll be a substitution. And as you can see, the number 8 being held up, so the man to come off is Ian Stewart. And he's being replaced by Wayne Faraday. Can play on the wing or as a central attacking player. Micklewhite's corner. Nearly reached Gregory. McDonald got an important flick on. Here's Stainrod. Neil. Oh, clumsy moment there by Leicester, who just stood around and watched as Stainrod lazily came in and hit that ball wide. Bobby Smith. Fire. Cool as you like from Fenwick. Well, Stainrod and Larry May were having a private battle that had nothing whatsoever to do with the football that was coming their way then. And it's a free kick to Rangers. This is the substitute, Halliday. Oh, what good pace he's got. Oh, it's an own goal. Well, amazing. With his first touch of the ball, the substitute Wayne Faraday produces a goal, but poor John O'Neill will officially be credited with it. Faraday going quickly down the left, pulling the ball across. O'Neill could do nothing about it. It deflected off him beyond Wellington's reach. And in the most strange of circumstances, that's 1-0 to Queen's Park Rangers. Leicester City, who've lost 2 of their previous 3 home games this season, go behind again. Well, Hucker always seems to read the situation well. O'Neill, who tried to atone for the own goal, getting up and climbing well. But Hucker in complete charge of that goal area. Seeley winning it from O'Neill, but to no effect. Wellington in a hurry to get on with it. Wilson. Fryer. Gregory forward. Referee's already had a look at his watch. So this could be Leicester's last attack. Wilson. Ramsey giving it straight to Faraday. And it is indeed Leicester's last attack. Boos from a sparse crowd, and Leicester's problems continue. 3 home defeats out of 4 at Filbert Street. They may feel it was rather an unlucky way to lose it, but good substitution made by Queen's Park Rangers, with Wayne Faraday making an impact straight away with the cross. But poor John O'Neill, the player, unlucky enough to deflect it into his own net. Both sides will use the excuse that a lot of experienced and regular first-team players were missing. But let's not try to hide the fact that this was a disappointing match between 2 teams who we expected to be in the running for promotion when the honours are sorted out at the end of this season. Leicester City 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1.
Well, not a classic by any means, but I'd just like to pick out one moment when Gary Waddock, in 20 seconds or so, said a lot for his attitude and for his ability. From this Rangers free kick here, you'll see just at the top of the pitch there, he starts the run to the right of the penalty area, and he's already lost his marker. But look at the neat control to start with, just taken down beautifully off the outside of his foot, clearing his way from the other opponent. But now look at the angle he is to the goal and the difficulty that he will have in making a cross. But such is his determination to get that ball over. He beats 3 defenders and the goalkeeper, falls over in doing it. But the fact that that ball was hard enough to beat the defenders gave Stainrod the chance for a volley. Maybe a goal, but at least a corner.
September means vintage footy on ESPN Classic. Remember when the Premiership was still the First Division? Let's gear up for another exciting new season, bringing you blockbusting action from 5 top clubs. Liverpool.
Yes, hat-trick.
Everton.
And Athletica's hat-trick.
Bergkamp. Arsenal.
He's got some space. Huddle shot. Oh!
Tottenham Hotspur.
What a goal.
And Aston Villa.
Win!
It's all about Hotspurs. Tomorrow at 9 on ESPN Classic. Dead good sport.
Stare into the fire. Now, ask yourself, do you want your burger fried or big, juicy and flame grilled?
After our glorious David Attenborough DVD collection, the Mail is giving away free giant-sized wall charts of Britain's wildlife. 14 magnificent glossy colour posters everyone will want to collect. Get British garden birds free inside tomorrow's Daily Mail. Then every day we're offering another superb wall chart. Butterflies, wildflowers, seabirds, dolphins. This unique collection captures the glories of Britain's natural heritage. Get your first wildlife wall chart absolutely free inside tomorrow's Daily Mail.
It's got to be tonight, right? It's got to be tonight.
Did you know that thousands of men are impotent because they smoked? Probably not, because they don't like to talk about it. Every cigarette you smoke causes fatty deposits that restrict the flow of blood to your penis. And this damage is happening right now. For help and advice on giving up, call 0800 169 0169.
The new Alligator Power Lopper from Black & Decker. Works just like a manual lopper, but with the power of a chainsaw.
At DFS, your sofa is designed around you. Your style, your colour. Not forgetting your budget. Whether you're making the move or you're just making changes, it's designed to make things easy for you. You get 4 years free credit and you don't pay a thing for a year. So you should come and get at least £300 off every sofa and corner group in the 07 collection at DFS. It's very you.
Hanging from a pine tree by my knees, sunshine through the shade. Nobody knows what it's all about. It's too much, man, let it all hang out. Let it all hang out. Let it all hang out.
Brewed with citrus hops for an effortless taste. New Foster's Twist. Laid-back lager.
Some yogurt drinks may help your heart in one way. Only Danicol combines 2 active ingredients. Omega-3 to help keep your heart healthy, and plant sterols, which are proven to lower cholesterol. New Danicol helps your heart 2 times.
September means vintage footy on ESPN Classic. Remember when the Premiership was still the First Division? Let's gear up for another exciting new season, bringing you blockbusting action from 5 top clubs. Liverpool. Everton. Arsenal.
He's got some space. Huddle shot. Oh!
Tottenham Hotspur.
What a goal.
And Aston Villa. It's all about Hotspurs. Saturday at 2:30 on ESPN Classic. Dead Good Sport.
Time to brave those rucks and scrums now on your Dead Good Sports channel as we bring you Dead Good 5 Nations Rugby.
Hello, you're watching ESPN Classic, the Dead Good Sports channel. Just a reminder that every night at 11 in the rugby slot, you can see Ireland, Wales, Scotland and France united in a single cause, trying to beat England. 7 nights of 5 Nations action from 1980 and 1991. England against the rest, every night at 11.
And one has experienced on many occasions the unique atmosphere that is very specially Twickenham's on those great rugby occasions. But, you know, one senses a particular weight of excitement and anticipation at this famous ground today for what will be the 92nd meeting between England and Ireland in what is the second oldest rugby union international of all. First played not here, but believe it or not, at the Oval in 1874-75. It's against a background, of course, of only 7 wins from their last 25 games that England's side today know very well that England certainly expects. Just the one new cap in the side, Phil Blakeway at prop forward. 4 changes in personnel from the team that lost to New Zealand by 9-10. The return of the 2 Hortons and, of course, of Roger Utley. Pace in the wings, a blend at centre. The man with the onus of dictating England's style, John Horton, brought back into the side. A formidable pack with 6 British Lions, 4 England captains in that pack. But the man in charge today, of course, Bill Bowman, leading the side for the 10th time. England seeking a first Triple Crown since 1960 and a first championship since 63. Ireland, of course, come in with 2 new caps, Kevin O'Brien at fullback and Jim Glenn in the lock, who with Alistair McKibben are the only ones who didn't share in Ireland's summer success in Australia. Very strong midfield defence there. A new half-back partnership forged in Australia. Ollie Campbell in tremendous kicking form. Colin Patterson, 5 tries in 7 internationals. And a pack containing 4 British Lions. And captain for the 7th time, Fergus Slattery, who today sets a new world record for a flank forward of 42 international appearances. Bill Bowman leads out England, and it looked to me as if Bill Bowman may have won the toss because he was indicating to Ireland which way he was going to play, motioning them to go back down the field. And that's Bill Bowman, this great man of Fylde in Lancashire, playing in his 23rd international today, first cap against Ireland in 75. Campbell restarts. It was Utley who had it. Smith to Horton. They've missed out. Bond, and it goes to Preston. Dusty Hare in the line. Hare with a kick ahead. Up goes Slemon. Oh, and it's Patterson with a brilliant bit of covering and counter-attacking. Wheeler throws. Duggan knocked Scott out of the way, and John Scott took it in view, but the referee had seen the offence. Bit of obstruction at the tail of the line out, and the first chance for England to go ahead. Can he make this his first championship points? Dusty Hare, drawn it in, what a beauty! England ahead 3 points to 0, just about 8 minutes of the first half gone. They'll be pleased with that one in Leicester and also in Nottingham. Just inside Irish territory. England trying the turn again. Patterson, Campbell. That's hoisted past Slemon. That's the kind of bounce you can get today. A brave stop by Hare. That was McKibben who got a foot to it and who felt that he might have been obstructed. Alistair McKibben, of a great sporting family in Ireland. His father played for the British Lions and his brother for Ireland.